It should come as no surprise to my friends and viewers that trading card games have always had a very special place in my heart. In this series, both Raikourider and myself will be opening 24 packs or one box of a core Yu-Gi-Oh set. Every week we will add an additional core set to our collections, moving in chronological order. We will use these cards to create a deck and then face off against one another in a best 2 out of 3 match, with the winner receiving 2 prizes to upgrade their deck, while the loser receives 1. These prizes can range from wild cards, to sealed product, to starter decks, and more. Every card that has been released will be available to us at least once. However, we cannot rest on our laurels. Between the ever-evolving nature of the Forbidden and Limited list, the cards that we ourselves choose to banish into the Shadow Realm, and even the way the very rules of the game will change, will keep our decks and our duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. Hello and welcome to yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. My name is Demon Battler, and this is going to be a little fun series between myself and my friend Raikourider, who is also going to be recording his part of the series as well. You'll be able to check out his video in the description. Their link will be down there. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the Legend of Blue Eyes, which kind of a standard, but you know, that's how it is. Legend of Blue Eyes was released in March of 2002. This was a very interesting set in the sense of, at the time the game was definitely Unga Bunga, but it definitely had its few moments of interest that made it different. So we're gonna go through the card by some of the key cards in each rarity. We're gonna start with the small stuff, which we have the short prints and the commons, which total together that's about 82 cards, I want to say. Yeah, 82 cards. Now, short prints, for those of you who don't know, because I don't think modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Necessarily has this, short prints are just a bunch of cards that are commons, but they are printed at a lower rate than other commons just because of how the sheets worked. But for all intents and purposes, they are standard commons still. So for some of the key cards that we're going to be looking at, we're actually going to be looking for 2 specific equip spells here, which are Raise Body Heat and Follow Wind. The reason is because Raise Body Heat raises the attack and defense of a dinosaur monster by 300, and Follow Wind increases the attack and defense of a winged beast by 300. Let's get that showing. There we go. The reason we want those are going to be explained in just a second as we scroll down here into the commons, which realistically a lot of these commons are bad. They're pretty much just going to be cannon fodder if nothing else. But there are a few important ones we want to see. For example, Green Phantom King actually has a decent defense point value at 1600, which outside of boosts means that this will actually get over this will protect itself from anything that's level 4 or lower at least for this set. But the other key cards we're going to want to see are the field spells right here. These each have their own specific types that they work with. Yumi is going to be one that we really want to see, primarily for later down the road. And even then, it's going to be more of a backup card than anything. Hinotama for right now is not bad. It deals 500 damage to your opponent. In a simple manner like this, we might need 3 extra cards, and Hinotama can just fill that role. But the 2 big ones we really want to see are Urabi, which is actually just a basic 1500 attack dinosaur, and down here, Skull Redbird. 1550 attack, which is the highest for a level 4 in this set. And since it's a winged beast, that means Follow Wind will actually give it the boost. So basically, unfortunately, it's still not going to be enough to deal with the main defenders we were looking for, but at least in terms of attacking, these are going to be our primary purposes, our primary attackers here. And then Scrolling up, we're going to look at the rare cards, which there's actually quite a few that we're going to want to see at least one of. The first set that we really want to see are the 2K Defenders. So Aquamador, Giant Soldier of Stone, Spirit of the Harp. Those are going to be the three that we really want to see, just because they're big bodies that can protect us, so we get set up. Reaper of the Cards is a little bit of a similar nature, but it's a little iffier because you have to actually tribute a monster to play it. But it can destroy a trap card if it's flipped, so that could potentially be useful. Fisher is a good card. It's just generic removal, destroy the monster the opponent controls with the lowest attack. And then Hane here is actually a good card at rare. It's a flip effect monster. Flip, bounce a monster from the field back to the hand. So, it can be used to handle some tempo problems. If Rai gets a tribute monster on the field and rams into this, we can bounce that monster back and they are down a monster. We're definitely going to want to see a stop defense card. This is just basically anything that's in defense. You could play this, force it into attack mode, and give it a quick attack. Basically, you could knock over, like, Aquamador has 1200 attack, Giant Soldier of Stone 1300, Spirit of the Harp only has 800. So if you could get a stop defense, you could put that into attack mode and beat over it pretty easily. And then, of course, we have the big card, Pot of Greed. Pretty much, I feel like everyone should know what this is. Trust me, there's a lot of people who don't know what this is, but it's probably the best card in the game, period. And if we could get at least one, then we'll have it for the rest of the series, and that'll be good. Then we go up into the super rares, and roughly half of these are cards we want to see, the other half not so much. Dark Hole, Raigeki, and Trap Hole are three of the big ones we really want to see. Dark Hole just destroys all monsters on the field, period. Raigeki destroys all of your opponent's monsters, period. Trap Hole, a little more situational, but if your opponent summons a monster with 1000 or more attack, it can destroy it. Given the fact that this set only has 3 trap cards, and this is the only usable one, effectively, if we could hit one, that'll be nice. Polymerization is a good card, but we're going to need that. If we use that, it'll be for future sets with other options, because fusions are definitely not very good for us here. Mystical Elf isn't a bad card, it's just that it's a 2K defender, and given that it's effectively Spirit of the Harp, just a different type, then I would rather just get the rare version and then possibly get a super rare of a different card instead. Swords of Revealing Light, this is basically going to read draw 3 cards because it flips your opponent's monsters face up, and then for 3 of their turns they can't attack. Which in a slow game like this can really make a difference if we draw some good card. Maneater Bug, basically Hane, except it destroys the monster when it's flipped. So, pretty good, super rare, definitely something we want to see at least one of if we can. Then we come to the ultra rares, and honestly, these are definitely half and half. Blue Eyes White Dragon, definitely a big card. Dark Magician, also a pretty good card. Monster Reborn is probably the chase card of the ultra rares that we want to see. Red Eyes Black Dragon and Gaia the Fierce Knight, they can be pretty decent on their own, but if we have alternatives that are stronger, then for 2 tributes we could definitely do better. And then we have the 5 pieces of Exodia here, which most people recognize them for being famous, and honestly they're honestly not that great. At least for right now. If we were to pull any of these, I would definitely prefer to pull Exodia's head. And the reason for that is actually because if we do pull it, then let's actually load this up. Because the thing is, if you collect all 5 in your hand, you win the game. And Exodia's head is actually the only one of the 5 that doesn't get released in a low rarity. The other 4 limbs actually get released in certain sets like Dark Beginning as commons, whereas Exodia's Head still is an ultra rare. So if we could pick this now, then it'll save us the hassle of trying to get the other pieces later, because they'll be a lot easier to pull off. And then we come to the 2 secret rares, and at the current moment, one of them is fairly good, and the other one is absolute trash. Trihorn Dragon is the one that's fairly good. It's a level 8 with 2850 attack, and it basically, the only thing that can naturally outpower it in this set is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, definitely a good card worth having if we can pull it. It is a secret, so it's going to be very difficult to pull, but still, if we get it, that'll be nice. And then we come to Gaia the Dragon Champion, which is not so nice. The reason is because it's a fusion, which is already rough enough, because the problem with this is it's a -2 inherently. But on top of that, it's a secret rare, and in order to go into it, you need 2 super rares, Curse the Dragon and the Polymerization, as well as an ultra rare. So the only way we're actually going to pull this card and use it is if we get extraordinarily lucky / unlucky at the same time, because lucky in that we pull that many hollows, but unlucky in that we pull basically the worst of the hollows in that regard. But with that being said, we're gonna go into the pack pulling soon, so let's check that out. Okay, so we have 24 packs of Legend of Blue Eyes. Let's hope we can pull some really good cards here. Of everything, I really want to see at least a Pot of Greed. If we can hit like a Dark Hole or a Raigeki, that'll definitely be a nice benefit. So, yeah. Let's hope for the best, and let's see what we get. First pack. Nothing really good, it looks like. I mean, we have an Armed Ninja, which is actually not bad. That can flip and destroy a spell, so if Bry has a Swords of Revealing Light, then that could actually be pretty useful to pop it, but otherwise, not so great. Okay, so before I open the second pack, I just want to point out one thing real quick. At the end of the pulls, it's going to scroll down to show everything we pulled, and the first pack is actually going to be different than what we just saw. The reason is because I made a dum-dum and realized after the fact, I forgot to set it on draft mode when I set up the pack, which means that it ended up pulling it as a single pack, and I couldn't do other, like, I could retry, but then I wouldn't be able to keep track of the packs that way. So, just for record, I'm keeping what I had for the first pack. What ended up the throwaway first pack here doesn't count. So whatever you see right there, doesn't matter. Thankfully, there wasn't a hollow or anything, so it doesn't lead to any confusion, but still. Just wanted to get that out of the way now. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and pull the second pack now and see what we hit. Not too much, but Giant Soldier of Stone as a rare, so that's a pretty good card. We're only 2 packs in, but I'm really, really hoping we hit at least a couple of the key attackers, too. Okay, third pack. I'm probably going to jump a couple times here and there if we have a few packs there's nothing of importance, but I do just want to point out Dragon Capture Jar is here as a rare, and even though this is primarily not going to be useful to us, I look at it as it could be something as a side deck card. If it turns out Rai pulls a Trihorn Dragon, Curse of Dragon, or Blue Eyes, we can have this in a side deck and have it as an option, so that way if he summons it, we can just flip this and put it in defense mode and basically just put it to sleep, because yeah, we can't do anything about it, but at the same time he can't attack with it, so just gonna keep that in mind. Okay, so Spirit of the Harp, that's a good 2k defender. That's going to be useful to us. Witty Phantom, I didn't really mention it in the preview, but Witty Phantom actually can act as a pretty decent backup attacker if we don't end up with many of the other two. It's 1400 attack, so it's a bit weaker, but honestly, for this first set, whatever we could take, we're going to get. Also, Hinotama, so we might actually get to use the Fireball no Jutsu. Oh my god. Okay, so first off, second Hinotama, so that's something. But our first holo of the set of the pack of the episode, and it's the left leg of the Forbidden One. Like I said, Exodia, I only want the head right now. Because the odds of me hitting all 5 limbs right now are very, very unlikely. Like, I almost want to say impossible, but anything is possible at this point. But if this would have been the head, I would be ecstatic just because I could have that in the back row, like in the back to work with. But this thing is useless on its own accord. Like, 300 attack, 200 defense, it's just bad. So hopefully the other ones, hopefully we get some better pulls soon. Okay, first Urabi. Finally, we're about 8 packs in right now. We really needed some key attackers, and I mean, we're still a long way away, but at least that's something. Are you fucking serious? Gaia the Dragon Champion, like, again, we pulled the secret rare, first edition no less. Okay, yeah, so if we would have pulled this in paper, that'd be kind of nice. That's a $100 card, but we're never going to be able to use this. Like, there's no way. Second arm ninja, though, and our third raise body heat. So you know what? At least that pack's not completely a bust. Well, there's our second skull redbird, and that's our third arm ninja, so we at least have some stuff working with it here. Again, we're really a bit low on attackers, but hopefully we're still less than halfway through, so hopefully we can pick up the slack. I'm still looking for that pot of greed, though. Okay, so a follow wind, a second skull redbird, and another spirit of the harp. So you know what? This pack's actually not too bad. Also, funny that we have a Sparks over here, but we're probably not going to play that. Well, second holo of the set, polymerization. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to complain because that can open the doors for some fusions later down the road. But for right now, that's, like, it's definitely a holo that we're not going to make too much good use of, I feel. We do have a remove trap, though, which I guess can be decent. I mean, granted, we don't have anything useful for it at the moment, but I guess if we pull a dragon of some sort and he has Dragon Capture Jar, we could at least shut that down. Okay, so there's our third skull redbird. Thank God. We at least have a set of attackers to work with. We also pulled a flower wolf, which is pretty funny because, as sad as it is, because we have polymerization, that's actually an option to us now. It's not a great option, but it's an option. Okay, this is actually a pretty good pack. Granted, the monsters are pretty lackluster, but Swords of Revealing Light, that's actually a pretty good card. Like I said, with how slow our game is, this basically says draw 3 cards. Now granted, if Rai has a armed ninja and he can flip this up, then sure, that's gonna go away. But still not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, thank you God, we hit a pot of greed. We were getting really close to the end of this set, and I really was getting nervous on this one. That's the thing, I don't care that if we get 3 pot of greed for this set or not. I just needed the one. Just the one for the rest of the series. So thank God we hit that. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, first off, that's my 5th skull redbird. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed on that one. Like, I'm glad I got my playset, but still. Aquamador's pretty good. We needed one of them. And the right arm of the Forbidden One. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, that's 2 limbs of Exodia that we've pulled, and neither of them are the one we want. God, that's gonna make this so much harder later on to pull the... Like, if we really want to do Exodia down the line, we're gonna have to pray to God knows what our... We're gonna have to pray to whatever RNG to give us the head, because otherwise, these guys are nothing but trunk space for us. Okay, this might actually be the best pack we've pulled yet, which is crazy to say, but we have another Witty Phantom, so that's a good backup. We have a second Urabi. Yes, I said second. We only have 3 packs left. Let's hope we pull the third. We hit a second Dragon Capture Jar, which is pretty good for, again, good for side deck. And we hit a Man-Eater Bug. So you know what? For a holo, that's pretty darn good. Hopefully, at this point, if we can hit a third Urabi and maybe 1 or 2 more 2K defenders, then we should be good. It'd be nice if we hit something like Raigeki, though. That'd be nice. Really? A second polymerization? Really? Okay. Not exactly the holo I was hoping to pull at the end of the set, but you know what? I guess we can't really gripe. I mean, 2 polymerization is pretty nice because that's a little consistency for that kind of thing, I guess. Well, we have 1 set left. We have 1 pack left. Can we please pull something good? I'm not even asking for like Dark Hole or Raigeki at this point. Just give me a 2K defender. Here we go. Never lucky. But we did hit 1 Yumi. Wow, we only hit 1 Yumi. That's actually kind of depressing. Third Dragon Capture Jar, I guess, so I guess that's not awful. Okay, so we've got the pulls. Now we just gotta throw this into the deck editor and figure out what the hell we're gonna do here. I'm really hoping Rai didn't end up pulling something absolutely nuts, because something tells me we're gonna be behind the 8 ball on this one. But I'm gonna get into that. We'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, let's just okay, before we explain everything, let me just say right now, if I win this, I will be shocked. Plain and simple. Because going through my pulls and looking at the deck afterwards, I'm like, man, this could be bad. This is horrible. So, let's go by card here. We have 3 Armed Ninja. Again, they can flip, destroy a spell card. Primarily for the sake of dealing with Swords of Revealing Light, but hey, if he has a face-out spell card as a bluff for a trap, we could possibly pop something like that. One copy of Man-Eater Bug over here. If it'll hover over and actually recognize it. There we go. Little bit of removal. Unfortunately, we did not pull any Fisher, so this is kind of the only removal we've got, which is kind of problematic. 1 copy of Aquamador, 2 copies of Dark World Thorns. You're going to see why in a few seconds. 2 copies of Firegrass. Once again, you're going to see in a few seconds. For the love of God, please don't laugh. 1 Giant Soldier of Stone, 2 Petite Dragon, 2 Silverfang, 3 Skull Redbird, 2 Spirit of the Harp, 1 Turtle Tiger because we really need defense, 2 Urabi, 3 Witty Phantom. For our spells, we have 3 Dark Energy, which will power up the Witty Phantom. Right? Yeah. We have 1 Follow Wind. We only pulled 1, unfortunately, but that'll help the Skull Redbird. 3 Hinotama. I was not kidding. We ended up digging for cards, and we needed to fill out the deck. So, 2 copies of Polymerization. This is going to be to make use of the weird little monsters we picked. The 1 Pot of Greed, 2 Raised Body Heat to help the Urabi, 1 Stop Defense. I didn't even realize I pulled this. 1 Swords of Revealing Light, and 1 copy of 2-Pronged Attack. I do not like this card at all. It is a -2 overall, but if we are in a really bad position and need to get something big out of the way, then this could help. Our side deck is just 3 copies of Dragon Capture Jar on the off chance that he has some kind of dragon, and then our fusion deck we have 1 Flower Wolf and we have 1 Dark Fire Dragon. So we're going to hope to God that we could do something with this. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but we're going to put some hope in it. So, let's go. Good luck. runs the roost. Yep, it's the king of the pecking order, so. Alright. So, good luck. Yep, that's a good start for me. And just so everyone's aware, we are playing with the rules as they were to begin with. So up until, what was it, Arc 5? So Pendulum Era, was that when they started not drawing for turn? Or was it Link? Okay, so yeah, until we reach that point, first person who goes first gets to draw, so I'm gonna take the first draw. Good luck, duelist. Alright, so draw for turn, standby, main. Ugh, this hand. I'm sure every hand yeah. Well, let's start things off with a little bit of a fireball jutsu. I'm activating Hinotama. Let's see. I think I'm gonna set a monster and then I'm gonna pass. Ooh, alright. It's actually a firegrass. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. So that's 1400 then. Yep. For some reason my brain thought Firegrass had a lot higher attack than that, but... alright, I draw. Sweet. Alright. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go with some power up here. I'm gonna start by summoning a good old Uraby. And then I'm going to activate Polymerization, baby! I'm sending away my Silver Fang and my Dark World Thorns in my hand to summon our favorite Flower Wolf. So yeah, Uraby's going into Bone Boy for 100. And I'll pass. Oh. Oh, shit. So that's 15. So that's 18. So you're going to crash them. No, I'm going to hit over the Uraby, obviously. Oh. Why did I not think about that? Alright, so yeah, I'll take 300. And Uraby will go. Alright, draw. Well, as much as it kind of sucks having to crash, that I'll have to crash them, at least it's going to be a 3-for-1 for a 3-for-1, so... But, before we do that, let's go ahead and get a Skull Redbird out. And, okay. And then I'll hit for 1550. Main phase 2, I will set a card, and I will pass. Yeah, that's fine. kind of get you back into this a little bit.
And this is the reason why I'm playing Yami. If you have a trap hole, I will be very sad. I'm going to normal summon Witty Phantom.
Oh, son of a bitch. Alright. It's good.
Battle phase 1600.
So I will take 50, and it will die.
Makes Yami for me good in this format because it gets over Skull Red Bird.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Drop her turn, stand by main. I will normal summon Terrible.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Battle phase okay. Pass the turn.
Alright, I draw. Standby main. I will set a card, and I will pass.
Stand by main. I will normal summon Trial of Nightmare.
Alright.
Battle phase, Witty Phantom into your set, which is probably a 2K defender.
Well, it's down to 1800 now, but
It is down to 18. It is only 1800, but that will wall me.
for now anyway.
I will pass the turn. Show me your tribute summon.
I do not have a tribute summon. At the moment, I will summon Skull Redbird.
That is a Skull Red Bird.
And let's, I guess we should clear... Honestly, we should clear out your Trial of Nightmare, because 1500 is a little scarier to deal with than 1400.
It is.
And I will pass the turn.
Drop a turn. Stand by main. Battle phase, hit for the Skull Red Bird.
Yep, so I will take another 50 points. And that goes off to KFC.
After combat, I'll set a monster and then win.
Alright, draw. Ah, jeez. I guess I'll have to pass.
Drop a turn. Stand by main. Game over, probably.
Alright.
I'll show you the monster.
And I will show you game one.
Yup.
Oh well, that one's actually going to be a little bit longer of a transition because my thing actually stopped responding for a few seconds, but oh well. That's just the way that works.
Great. I mean, it is Legend of Wise.
Yeah. Okay, so unfortunately there was a slight hiccup in the recording process and you guys actually missed. We ended up forgetting to unpause for about half of this game, but based on the board state, trust me, there is actually not much that you really missed. So if you want to see this full game too, go ahead and check out Rye's video, but honestly, you're probably best... At this point, you're probably best just going from here. It doesn't matter either way. But let's see what we could do here. Standby main. That does not actually help a lot. Crap. I guess I'm just gonna set another monster and pass the turn.
Great. Drop a turn. Stand by main. Battle phase, I will attack with your most recent set.
You have destroyed the petite dragon.
After combat, I will set another monster and I will pass the turn.
Alright, draw. Standby main. Well, Fireball.
Oh no, 500 points of damage. Whatever will I do?
I guess I'll just pass the turn.
Draw for turn and standby main. Well, I think I might actually be able to start taking control of this duel now. I'm going to equip a third mystical moon to this beaver warrior.
Oh, for God's sakes.
It's 21 on turn now, and it can actually get over things. This is the most buff beaver warrior Legend of Blue Eyes has ever seen. My battle phase, my triple mystical moon beaver warrior will attack your AE.
Alright, so I will take 300 points.
This is far more amusing than it should be.
Well, I'm glad I caught on to the recording issue before this point, because...
This is the turn.
Alright. Shoot. The sad part is I could have actually prevented this from happening one turn ago, but I didn't want to pull the trigger, and now it's gonna bite me in the ass. Gonna set a card and pass. Oh, I wish I had my board wipe.
And my main. I think I need to just get as much damage on the table as possible, so I am going to Dawn Defense or New Set.
Alright. It is my Dark World Thorns.
Alright, let's go ahead and tribute off this
Oh, shit.
of heart and this giant soldier of stone for my Triborn Dragon.
Oh, Oh, so you actually pulled the secret rare. And the good one at that.
Battle phase. 1650 into your Dark World Thorns.
Ow.
And then I'm gonna kill your 2K defenders.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
Draw.
Board. Oh wait, this isn't like format.
Yeah, but it pretty much still is. Shoot. Well, seeing as how I can't reliably sit here and, let you deck yourself anymore, I guess I'll just have to play the pot of greed I've been holding on to for the past, like, 5 turns.
That's smart.
That does not help.
Oh, what is this?
I will set a card, go to the end phase, and I will pitch my Skull Redbird to the graveyard.
Stand by main. I will summon a small red bird of my own.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Battle phase. Triborn Dragon, and this is it.
That was my Spirit of the Harp.
Beaver Warrior into this set.
That's my Aquamador.
Small red bird into your new set.
That is my third armed ninja, and I will take out a mystical moon. I will make your Beaver Warrior mortal again.
Beaver Warrior can't get over 2K defenders anymore.
Well,
Badass Beaver Warrior in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
oh yeah.
I'll take 500.
God damn, this is not good for me, but... Oh, this is actually really bad for me. Okay, I'm gonna activate Polymerization.
Hello.
So, let's send these guys... Yep. However, I have to play him in defense mode this time, because... Otherwise, I die. And I will set a card and pass. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the game.
So, I got the other secret rare too.
Oh, you got one too. I pulled it too, but I didn't even bother throwing it in here. Like,
I have
like I.
my campaign.
Well, that's the thing. I mentioned how that's probably the worst secret rare period, just because in order to play it, you have to not only pull the secret rare, but you have to pull 2 supers and an ultra out of it.
I did get the Curse of Dragon, which is playable on its own.
Yeah, I honestly I pulled a man-eater bug, but realistically that's about it. Well, actually no. There is one other thing.
You got 2 polys.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, of course. Season 1, I pulled 3 polymerization, and now Season 2, I pulled 2 of them, so I could still do fusions. But, like, I pulled some... I'm not gonna lie, I pulled bad in this... I pulled decent for the commons, but, like, hollows? I pulled no Fisher, only 1 pot of greed. I hit I hit my man-eater bug, the 2 poly, the swords, dragon champion, and then I hit the left leg and the right arm of the forbidden one.
Oh, 2 Exodias, yes.
Which I had said to begin with, of all the 5 Exodia pieces, the only one I'd really be okay to pull would be the head, just because we're gonna do side sets later on, and of all the pieces, the head is the only one that doesn't go down into common at any point, whereas the other limbs do in Dark Beginning 1. So, if I could have pulled the head, I could actually potentially get Exodia later on, but as it currently stands, probably not going to do that, especially because if I pull a wild card for Ultra Rare, I am not going to touch the friggin' head. I'm going to turn around and try to pick up something better than that.
So I also completed, that skull red is the only one.
Really?
I also only got 1 Urani, so the only way that I could actually compete with Skull Redbird was, Witty Phantom plus Yami, and I also need to actually get over the big bodies, and it worked.
That, honestly, I'm very surprised by that one. Did I disconnect?
Field spells matter.
Oh yeah. I actually don't think I pulled any of the field spells except for a single copy of Yumi. Oh no, I pulled 1 Yami. 1 Yami, 1 Yumi, 1 Sogen. Did I pull a forest? Nope.
Well, in any case, hopefully we will have some duels that are more interactive than this one.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some,
But I will go ahead and see all of you at the Rise Guild.
yeah, same here. Okay, so, unfortunately we lost that first match. Honestly, I'm not too surprised. Now, I will say though, seeing that Rai evidently didn't have some kind of board wipe, or at least didn't show one, kind of makes me feel a little better. But, that's neither here nor there. So this is the wildcard wheel. Since we lost, we get 1 spin of this. Since Rai won, he gets 2 spins of this. There will be a change to the wheel later once certain things become available to us, but we'll talk about that once the time comes. So for now, let's go ahead and spin and see which rarity we could pick a wild card of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Super rare wild card. I'm actually very happy about that. So let's see what we could pick. Okay, so we have the set list for the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon here. So we're gonna go ahead and sort this through the rarity and scroll down into super rares. which will be starting with Celtic Guardian down to Trap Hole, it looks like, yeah. So, basically, I think the smart play for us is going to be to take a copy of Raigeki. The reason I say that is because Raigeki and Darkhold fill similar roles. The difference is Raigeki is guaranteed to only impact Rai. Like, it's only gonna hurt him, not me. So honestly, I'm better off taking Raigeki, especially because this is one of the most powerful spell cards in early game anyway. So I'm going to lock that in as my selection, and we will see you next time with Metal Raiders. And I promise you that set is going to change a lot compared to what we saw today. And hopefully we'll get our first win. And with a card like this, that'll definitely help us out. So until then, stay tuned. Have a good night.